right, welcome to the Boom Bar. My name is Shola Rogers.
My name is Ola Delupa. You know, the one and only.
My name is Gbajabiamila.
Absolutely. I was expecting somebody to say that.
And if you're wondering what's going on, yes, it's if you're a first timer, we bid you a warm welcome. The Boom Bar is a bar where we kick back, relax. We have drinks. At times we have food. We've not had food in a while, but it's okay. We have drinks. We have food, but mainly we have gist. We talk about music, sports, politics, and everything in between. And at times, everything in between turns out to be the main gist. The other things are just addendums and all of that. So there's a whole lot of stuff to unpack. The things that's happening. Which president can contest or not contest. Which people should resign. This is politics, right? And we're building up to 2023 in Nigeria. So for our global audience, you would be hearing a lot about Nigerian politics and the ruling party majorly because they're the ones making the news lately. And of course, apart from that, we'll be talking about other things like matrimonial issues or these issues and on issues.
These issues?
On
what
that
does that even mean?
Look, people can create English. If it's showing Ghana, you people will be clapping.
But you are not showing Ghana.
I am Rogers.
Shoika has a Nobel laureate. What do you have?
Oh, did you just become a Nobel laureate overnight?
Excuse me.
But when you become a Nobel laureate, then we can have a conversation.
No, he's been doing it before he did that. That's the problem.
You have a political license.
Thank you.
Use what you want to use.
Thank you.
Political license by who? Issued by who? Tokubo Jakule.
It is a creative license. I have the right to say what I want to say, explain it, and back it up, and it becomes law.
I created that.
I see both.
Yes, and that is what happens all the time. A lot of the slangs that you guys pick up, a lot of the language I use, were created by people like you and me that did not have a Tolukbo shouting them down.
You have just proven something to me.
Thank you.
So
That the basic problem we have in this country, right?
Yes, sir.
Is language.
Yeah.
Words and language.
Thank you.
Put together, stood together, and put inside the constitution.
Thank you.
So there's confusion everywhere.
Everywhere.
Okay.
A wise man once said, CBB, confusion break bone.
Do you have that piece? We should play it one day.
Anyway,
It's because it's YouTube that we're not going to play it. If it's not YouTube issues, we will play CBB.
anyway,
Which is
everybody,
no way.
he has been for everything he has been saying. We're definitely going to be having a lot of things to unpack. We know today is Friday. It's normally Good Music Friday. Well, it looks like it's a very, laid back Friday when it comes to music. One particular song that I would say that popped up today, and before you say that, I don't even want to always be talking about this because now I'm sure that a lot of people like this girl. She's always doesn't have always something very nice to say. But young Jonn has his new song with I think his very first song. That's Dada that he released.
No, he's got a couple of other songs.
And he has this song now. The remix is out with Davido. I know you have listened to it. So what do you think about it? Don't let me start.
It's not a bad song. It's a nice song.
It is.
Davido, I thought we were asking for my opinion.
Sorry.
And Davido did magic on that song. Like,
He did.
okay, so I'm done.
no, please continue.
I'm actually done.
The song you did was I'm done.
No.
The magic you did.
No, please continue.
I'm actually done.
Please continue.
No, I'm not gonna do that. So let's hear your own opinion.
Okay, so I'm not really that much of a fan of
You
the
should
very
ask
first
me.
song.
I'm a fan of both.
Why do I feel that you didn't even listen to this song?
Excuse me.
You are just looking for trouble.
Excuse me.
And I will not give it to
I'm a
you.
politician.
I will not give it to you this afternoon. Anyway, I think I was not that much of a fan of the very first song, but I thought it was okay. This particular one, I thought it was very unnecessary. In fact, it sounded like Davido just bumped into the studio and they're like, okay, Davido, please help us drop something on it. And it didn't look like there was so much effort by Davido to be on this song. That's the way it sounds to me. It didn't sound like a very all that song. I felt that for you that are really trying, I think he's a very huge music producer, but for him to get into the music scene as a singer or a record artist, you would expect putting a Davido on your song is definitely going to help you. It's definitely to push you forward. But at least you should have at least tried and to do something.
So I'm,
This one.
I'm champing at the bit here, and because there's a tweet that I just stumbled on. It's from a politician and businessman, Akin Alabi.
Yeah.
I think he owns one of these betting platforms.
Yeah.
And very active person, actually. Writes a lot of nice books. And he tweeted 1 hour ago, "This morning, I had breakfast at Landmark Hotel, Melbourne, London. I sat at the same spot where Thierry Henry snubbed me
He's still going
in
on about this.
2014. It is now 8 years since that incident. Happy anniversary to me."
Okay, I take heart.
You're petty.
Take heart. Just take heart.
I like him because I like the way he jokes at things like this, and the consistency. For the past 8 years, this man has tweeted constantly about how Thierry. It is about time that we call Thierry.
Hi.
Look, you don't know what you've done. You need to go and apologize to someone in Nigeria. You know, Akarabi, I know you can pull it off, but if you need help,
let's know, yeah.
don't snub us, call us.
So, also talking about music, another person that released a song, this was way earlier in the week, was Victoni's Kolomental. I know you listened to it. So, let's hear.
Another good song. If you not put in your snide remarks, he actually went. He had an accident around this time last year. Could have cost him his life. He couldn't walk for close to a year, and not until most of the shows he performed in December, because the guy has an heavenly voice. He has a lovely voice, Victoni, and he's the only Tony that you know, and his own Tony. The O in his Tony is actually a 0, so he stands out. I'm going to ask him that one day why he has a 0 instead of the O. So about 3-4 weeks ago, he was performing, and he stood up, and he was jumping. I'm like, I need now to that. I'm jumping. I'm like, yeah, you are. So he's had such an interesting 1 year, and he drops this song, Kolomental, which is not Kolomental at all. You get it's actually a nice song. And again, he tweeted yesterday about going into surgery again. So I'm sure that maybe whatever he's going to do yesterday is to enhance his healing process so that he can start working. So from all of us to Victoni, man, get on your feet, brother.
Yeah, so there's I think it's actually not a bad song though. It's actually not a bad song. Let me just leave it like that. A lot of people that release songs today are all up and coming artists. You know, people that. One person that I think that her song actually called out to me was Vi. She's supposed to be Big Brother Niger housemate. I think was the last one that was.
Yeah, she had a song with Lekon.
Yeah, that she had a song with Lekon and everything. The song actually did well, and so she released the song today. And he says, "Let them say." I listened to about a minute and a half of that song, and I think if she's consistent, I think she'll go places.
Shocking.
She has a beautiful voice. She really does have a beautiful voice.
She can sing, actually.
Yeah, I think this. I see someone that if she's consistent, she will go places.
I'm so happy about these releases you guys are talking about, and also I like the way you commend them and encourage them. Over time, we've lost a quantum of the entertainment life, and I'm happy. I was telling Shola much earlier that I love the way we now make it exportable to the outside world. We were discussing Burna Boy's performance at the Maddison Square Garden, which was a blowout completely. And I was saying to them, the same Maddison Square where Ali fought, and we're very young then. We didn't go there too much. Don't look at me. We didn't go to America. So she was actually expecting me to say we were all there. We were not there. But it's a very popular place, and I'm very happy that a Nigerian was there, and tickets sold out. The whole place was jammed just for one person, and the crew. it's quite commendable.
Yeah, it is. It is amazing.
So speaking about that, Burna Boy's concert fully sold out, and he not only packed the arena, he rocked the whole place.
It was
And
beautiful. It was beautiful.
Barely 5 minutes into, it was a complete 2-hour set, non-stop. Barely 5 minutes or 10 minutes, a few minutes into the show, he gets a gift. He got a gift from a female fan.
I saw that.
And I think it was like a red.
Red was-
Am I allowed to say it?
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Indicate.
Yeah, a red. So
Underwear.
yes, kind of, not the upper. Is the upper one. So he got it and he put it. He put it on the side of his trousers. Then another one, and another one.
Wow.
And this is reminiscent of what they used to do to Michael Jackson and all the other artists. Then this was the same thing that used to happen. You know, where women are so moved to the point where they are throwing different gifts on the stage and all of that. So Burna actually handled that with a lot of grace. You can close it. Yeah. He handled that with a lot of grace and all of that. Then the way he also now played a couple of songs that were features. You know, like the song with Black Sharif, the Ghanaian rapper. He played his own remix part of it. The one with Ashake,
Oh, that was a
Yeah.
beautiful rendition. I
the
saw
Sumba
that.
remix.
It was-
He performed that.
Yeah, it did.
Then immediately from that Sumba release, he transitioned into Babuluku, his own
Yeah.
version of it. And I'm like, this is a smart guy. Like, it's not just because again, some of those shows he takes those people along with him, but again, he's able to play those songs because he featured on them, and people want to hear them too. And he just had an amazing.
I think it was an
show.
amazing show. I think it's.
There's one thing that you must give to Burna Boy before I leave this microphone.
Yeah.
There's, thank you. He's an entertainer.
He-
There's one thing you must give to him. He does not hold back. Like the level of work that goes in. You know, he rehearses.
Yeah,
He
it
uses
was.
a live band. All
It
of
was
that.
obvious that there was a lot of work, and I think that it gives. What I say, it puts everybody at there's a standard. I would say, to be honest with you, I won't say I'm so much of a fan of Burna Boy, but when something is good, accept that he's good. He has set a standard with shows. I watch snippets and snippets and snippets, and there's no part of it that is not greatness. Like it's just beautiful to watch. Do you understand? These are the kind of shows that you would, and especially for people that understand music, that I'm not just coming to watch somebody else, one DJ play back the song and then you're just lip syncing to it. No, you know that a lot of arrangement and work, a lot of production was, and this is how we should be if we really, really want to be on the same stage with the people winning the Grammys and want to say that we're not just Nigerian and we're not African, we're global. Do things as it should be done. Do things globally, like the way it's accepted globally. Just do it just because. And I'm happy. I'm happy for Burna Boy. I'm happy for the Nigerian music scene. I'm happy for the African music scene. There might not be a lot of them, but there are a few people that are putting the Nigerian music on the world map. It's amazing,
I'm
amazing to watch
excited
that one is alive when
to
this is
see.
happening.
I'm happy to hear you say all this, Dolupo, because the problem, well, the older ones I've had over time is the lackadaisical attitude in which people get into the stardom of after a short while and believe that's the end of story. And they just come in, just as you said, mind to songs and make money, you know. But over time, we have seen that it has changed. We lost Orlando recently, yeah. And you know, Orlando's story didn't start from just by the streets. He happened to be a solid musician who would give everything to rehearsals. I recall, you know, sometimes he would come out and have a small outing at a very small, you know, venue. We are saying to ourselves, no, Daddy, it should be a big thing. He says, no, I like it this way. And he would have slept there for 2 weeks, rehearsing every day just to get something out. That is a very good sign.
That's
sound. I saw that in Fenia as well, you know. Back to the shrine days. Fenia would have, was it Thursdays, I say, it free? Well, they're rehearsal days against Sunday. You know, so we're getting to a point where
we need to things need, it's not just,
and it's inspiring to
and every day. And you know the funny thing is that I was literally still talking about this morning. I was listening to a lot of Fuji music this morning. I don't know why, what put it up. So I was not talking, so I'm like, okay, what's the new? And I just looked at it and I'm like, that one major thing, I've said it over and over again, with the indigenous Nigerian music is the amount of work that goes into it. I think that the older music, because we have the computers now, there are a lot of computerized things that you can easily mix. These people go in, do this, like the drum person must be in sync with the guitar person, must be in sync with the piano, everything must be in sync, and there's no okay, stop, okay, let's cut this place out. You don't have those things there. You don't have those things. It's live and everything is beautiful to listen to. That's why you will listen to a fella's song that has an instrumental of 10-15 minutes and you won't be bored till his voice comes out, because even the instrumental you're listening to alone is beautiful music.
Sunny Ade is also one. You can see him on stage perform. And when he does that, you will know a lot of work has gone into it.
Step he makes, and because at the point it looked like things had been watered down. It looked like things had been watered down. Like we are just listening to is just CDs. They are just coming to a show to listen to CDs being played and all. But it's amazing. It's good that young people are getting it. We're getting to that point, and then the more they see, the more will be recognized on a global stage. And even as Nigeria as a whole, it is it's not just the perception alone. When it comes to the economy, there's a lot of things that really, this kind of things can really help. So shout out to Burna Boy. There's also been talks about, he has also announced that his album will be coming out, Love Damini, will be coming out on the 2nd of July. That's supposed to be his birthday.
Yeah, his 31st birthday. And before we leave the Burna Boy story, just like you guys have said, just like you pointed out, Ric Hassani, another Nigerian artist, it's been in America for about a year plus now. Fantastic singer, sings very well. Tweeted a few minutes ago, and he was like, everybody has seen what Burna has done at the Maddison Square Garden. No shouting, no jumping around, no DJ check 1, track 2, and all of that. That this should be the standard for everybody. That let's not play around. But I'm glad that he had to point that out. But the guys who are really excelling, the Nigerian artists who are doing well, they have already attained that level. That's what they are doing.
Yeah.
Two-Face Idibia.
Would
never perform with a DJ track 2, track 3.
I think I've been to 2 of the shows that Two-Face has been. It has always been with a band.
Omawumi,
yes.
How do you want to catch Omawumi? Say DJ track 2, track 3. Do you get? And that's why when these people perform, it's beautiful to watch.
It's just
as
different.
Against when you just buy. It's like I can buy your CD
and then put it
and
blow speakers and you
because
know.
All you're coming to do on stage is to mime to a CD that I already bought. So why am I paying 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 naira to come and watch you repeat it?
But you can imagine
the live performance
Asha
is supposed to be different.
Yeah.
So, and that's what these guys are doing. Davido, Wizkid, Burna, Olamide. You understand? Fino. You see them, they have bands and and
I remember there was
down.
one Olik that Olamide,
Flavor.
that he did, and it was beautiful. Do you understand? So this is the kind of standards we should really be putting out.
So shout out to Ric Hassani for bringing it out and saying this, because let us understand that you're that good.
Yeah.
And we shouldn't go back to the DJ track 2, track 3. You can still play with the DJ set. The DJ will do live mixes for you, with your show reel. That's what the DJ does. That's why
Yeah.
you see a lot of American artists perform with DJs.
Yes. But there's something I should point out though. When they were losing the live band flavor. They lost it to a lot of commercialization. When people invite them, and they have to cost a whole band to perform, and they give them the bill.
And
these
then
guys
people
say,
say
"No,
they
you
don't have
can't.
that.
Just
I
come
agree.
and appear. Come on and do something for us. You get it."
True.
So that what happened. But it lowers the esteem of
Oh yeah, it does,
the-
and I
the
think some
industry.
people.
So I'm so glad we're getting back.
We're getting back to that
it.
stage.
I'm sorry, I'm going to tackle what Tokumbo
Yeah.
said. It's not Tokumbo that I'm tackling what he said. So I know that someone was trying to get Omaomi to perform at a show, and she asked for a certain amount of money. And they're like, no, now this is, she said, no, I'm performing with a band. And they say, oh, they can't pay that much.
Okay.
And she's like, fine, no problems. Have fun. Hold on, no, she should.
Look, she put her foot down.
Yeah.
I understand.
She put her foot
I
down.
won't go into names of people who did not.
Yeah, a lot of them won't. That's why I said I was tackling that angle.
No,
So,
it is known over the time that they brought. Do you know what commercialization are done? Commercialization also affected the radio quality of what put us on radio.
Yeah.
exactly, and again,
Celestial radio.
again,
But you put your foot
radio
down.
also dropped its,
Yeah, they
its
dropped-
standards.
Everything dropped.
Exactly.
Because they were actually looking
Exactly.
for money and sharp way to make
To
money
make it.
on behalf of clients,
So,
But this is good.
but this is
a good example. I cannot do it. This is what I
This
can
is
do.
I'm either
Yeah.
doing it's standards. It's
So
having
if you're
standards at
paying
the
them
end of the
to
day.
appear,
Yeah.
they will appear, but she won't perform.
You perform.
Yeah.
She's not going to perform.
Exactly. So on that note, I think we should just move on because there's a lot of things that we actually need to unpack.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I think that one of the main issues, we know that 2023 elections is fast approaching, so it's one of the main issues that I'm probably going to be talking about a lot. There's a lot of issues that are coming up that looks like it's really worthy of talk. It's really worthy of talk. So one of the first thing that I'm going to talk about is we know that the APC nomination forms and all has been a lot of talk. Also, the APC chairman had come out today that he doesn't regret the fact that the forms were 100 million naira and they're not changing it. That's one.
Okay.
Two, I don't think that's need for conversation. One, talking about the nomination forms and people that have said they were interested in being president in the APC have now come out. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, we know he's a member of the APC as well, has now come out to talk about how the people who are ministers, or would I say political appointees generally, that want to be president, and they're not, because as of I think today or tomorrow is the deadline for them to resign.
Yes.
If they do not resign, they're not doing the party well. According to him, is saying that it's either if they go ahead and not resign, and the party goes ahead with the primaries like that, according to constitution, the APC primary elections will be nullified, or they will not participate in the primary elections.
Should I win? Should
Yes,
I win?
please.
I'm chomping at the bit. I'm like,
No, you should do it this time. Yes.
see. A wise man once said, and he said, "You too see." So you too see.
I'm the wise man.
His name is Veda.
Okay.
So this is it. President Muhammadu Buhari appointed people. They did not contest election. No. They were appointed. Majorly card-carrying members of his party.
Yeah.
Majorly. Some of them are technocrats and whatever. But we're talking about card-carrying members of the APC. Appointed by the president. Yeah? So, the party is supreme. That's what they tell us in politics. So their party is supreme because their party holds power. And somehow we're tied to their apron strings because Nigerians want Nigeria to succeed. So, if they do not resign by this time tomorrow, the party's primaries would have to be pushed to accommodate that resignation. And there's a window that the party primary cannot go beyond, then everything becomes null, Abi. So because one or two people do not want to resign, the party might lose. No. In the next couple of hours, if the president is in charge, you appointed them, sack every single one, every single minister that has picked a form or plans to pick a form. In fact, sack the entire cabinet and reconstitute it on Monday. I'm telling you, that's the only way you can save your party.
Do I think that there's a need for sacking? To me.
Oh, wait. What are you saying?
You know why I said...
If they don't resign...
You know why I said that? There might not be a need for sacking.
Okay.
If you do not resign, it means you don't want to contest in the primaries.
They have picked forms. They will still come out and contest and cost the party.
No, two things. If you do not resign, me...
Is that what happened in Zamfara?
For me, if you do not resign, it means that you don't want to contest. And even if you bought form, good luck to you. It is now... the purview of the party. When it now comes to the primaries, uncle, they do because as of today now the PDP is screening. During the screening process, you did not resign as such and such, and so that you do not scatter. They are not. You don't not only appointees that want to be president anyway. So because of such and such and
who's
such,
going to say this to them?
You will not.
The party.
Yes, that's what the speaker is saying now. That is either you resign or you will not even contest in the primaries.
So the party leader, the newly elected party leader, will now say to them when they bring their forms back, because some of them have collected forms. Abi?
Yeah.
We cannot take your form because you didn't resign and you are going to cause
the party is supreme. Yes.
And the guy will quietly show you his constitution that shows that he has a right to contest. You understand?
What part of the constitution?
Oh, the part
exactly.
The part that says that universal adult sovereignty, the right to vote and be voted
but
for.
You are a political appointee, which
yes.
you have to resign 30 days before. So
yes.
You have nullified yourself.
Then he now gets a lawyer. I get what you are saying. He's a political appointee. Abi, this scenario has never happened before. So the court needs to interpret. So he gets a lawyer. And the first thing they will ask for is an injunction. That pending when the court will clarify this gray area for their client or clients, because it could be a class action. No primaries should be held, because if the judgment goes in their favor, they would have lost out if the primaries are held behind them.
Okay.
Do you know what this cost the party?
Okay, go ahead.
You know what it cost the party? A suspension. The same way they almost couldn't hold their Congress because of all these court cases. The same APC. So by the time the guy goes to court, or the guys go to court, they have a right to seek an injunction, and they will get it. Because any right-thinking judge will say, we cannot deprive you, your prayers are valid. Now, we don't know how long that sitting will take. Whenever that process is done, the window of opportunity for APC to conduct their primaries would have passed. It would have lapsed.
Okay.
So,
yeah. Sorry.
To avoid that mistake, even the tiniest or the minutest possibility of that mistake coming up, sack everybody that has come out to say he wants to be president or whatever, that is an appointee. Sack them. Don't you have a right to sack them? Do you see where I'm coming from? Oh, you don't see where I'm... Do you not see where I'm coming from?
I get what you're saying.
I understand you.
Hey, yeah?
I do. You know, but this is where I'm going. I still go on moral grounds. This is my question.
Politician and moral grounds.
No, because there are plenty. As of today now, the Minister of Justice...
I think morals in this situation, because my question is, what are you still doing there? Knowing full well that you want to seek an election. You know, that's where I'm going. And the law is simple. Take a step back and resign before blah, 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 blah. Do you know why they won't do it? It's the same reason why Nigerians, after learning that their department or their ministry is corrupt, they are being investigated. What do they do honorably? Honorably, you resign and step aside. But they never do. We've never been part of the resigning culture in this country. They will not resign, Shola. They will not. Because two things will happen. What will happen is, okay, the period I'm going to resign and step aside, that place is like a vacuum. Anybody can can be asked to take over that seat, pending when. And I do not know if I'm going to be.
And so, if you then don't contest.
If they are not contesting, Shola is right to say.
Do you know the worst part of
them.
it?
That's where I'm
Do you know the worst part of
Let
it?
the man go. Let him be sacked. Reconstitute. Bring
You know
down
why
the
I
whole
said
cabinet.
because-
So a few years ago,
Bring out the cabinet.
4 years, to be precise,
That's it.
over 4 years ago, a little over 4 years ago, a serving minister of this same government resigned. Why? He wanted to contest to be governor of Ekiti. Kayode Fayemi resigned. Do you see? Kayode Fayemi could have been doing what these people are doing. Let me go and contest. If I lose, I'll come back as minister. He resigned. You know why? Because Kayode Fayemi believed that he would win. He believed in his candidacy, he believed in his campaign and the work he had put in. Do you get what I'm saying? You see, all these other jokers now, let's get real. They are not serious, they are jokers.
Exactly.
They want to have their cake
That's
and
it.
eat it.
The Minister of Justice,
If
someone
they're
that you
serious,
would think that is supposed
it's
to be
supposed
the
to be the first person to
custodian,
To resign.
he has already declared to be governor of Kebbi State.
He wants to be governor
And
of
you
Kebbi.
are the Attorney General of the Federation.
And he knows
And
the
I'm
law. He
wondering,
knows the law.
what do you
Before-
think is
before
going to
that
happen?
declaration,
Like,
Before that declaration, this man is supposed to do what? Resign.
Resign.
You set the example. So
know-
I am saying, I repeat,
No, I
that if President Buhari is serious about letting his party continue to rule, if he's serious about continuing his promise to Nigerians to deliver on electoral promises, he has to sack this. They are distracted now.
yeah.
they are.
They are distracted. Which one of them is going to function?
My question.
They are
again,
busy consulting. Minister of Transportation
who is
is
doing
in
the
Lagos.
job? Who is doing the job? The job is suffering.
The-
And they say job suffers.
Minister of State for Education. What's happening?
Nothing is
Minister
happening.
for Labour. Is all of these people should be
ASU
sacked.
is still on strike, and the labor. You see, my, you know musical chairs. Of course, we know musical chairs. Let's think about it. You're dancing around.
They don't
All
want
of a
to-
sudden, they look up because you know.
But
that
you also know that
the
these
song-
people,
the song is
other than
about to
the
stop. What do? You grab the chair.
other than the
So the
minister,
person coming won't sit down.
Yeah.
That's what is wrong.
but
with
you
them.
also know that other than the Minister of
Uh-huh.
Education,
Yeah.
the Minister for Safe for Education is the only one that has officially picked up a phone. So the rest, or maybe except for the Minister of
They don't
Justice,
intend to. Yeah,
maybe they
I
don't
think
intend to.
to.
That's
Okay?
the only explanation that this makes, because it absolutely makes no sense. I'm still talking about the Constitution. I'm still talking about presidency. A human rights lawyer had talked about yesterday, had come out to say that the president of Femi Falana had come out to say that because there's been a lot of talk about former President Jonathan contesting to be president again. And he came out to say that he was still consulting and all that. Now, Femi Falana had come out yesterday to say that former President Goodluck Jonathan cannot contest. And everybody was like, okay, what is he saying? And he was saying that according to the Constitution, that and we know how he became president the first time, the circumstances around it, then he became president the second time, that he cannot contest again. And we all know, my first question was, but this person he actually contested for the 2015 elections. He unfortunately lost that election. What would have happened then? Then we did a little bit of digging.
Yeah, can we do that? Can you explain that digging?
Yes, and that's what I want to actually.
So that
now,
people can
now, the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, fourth alteration, number 16, Act of 2017. Please, let's put the
2017.
years in.
Okay.
This act alters the provision of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, to disqualify a person who was sworn in as president or governor to complete the term of the elected president or governor from being elected to the same office for more than a single term.
So okay.
Now, this is the alteration of section 137 for the president and alteration of 182 for the governor. Now, section 137 subsection subsection 3 says that now let me read this. The enacted by the National Assembly of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, in this act referred to as the Principal Act, is altered out in this act. Section 137 of the Principal Act is altered by inserting after subsection 2 a new subsection 3, which reads, a person who was sworn in as president to complete the term for which another was elected as president shall not be elected to such an office for more than a single term.
Okay, that means it's only to be there for one term.
After he has finished serving. The other one is that he cannot be elected for more than one term. And what the conversation started with was because, according to the Constitution, before this alteration, was that you cannot be elected for more than 2 terms. Which, in the case of Goodluck Jonathan, he was only elected once as president. So I think he could have flown at 2015. But according to this document that is saying now, certified by the then clerk of the National Assembly, I don't know who the clerk is now. This was on the 4th day of May 2018, which he signed. So this act went into law in 2018.
Okay. Oh. You see all these legal things, confusion.
And this was signed by on the 8th day of May as well. No, this on 8th day of June 2018 by President Muhammadu Buhari. Signature right there. On the 8th day of June 2018, President Muhammadu Buhari had signed this as well.
Now, all this just coming out now, who's been sleeping? Who's been sleeping?
I think that there wasn't a conversation around it, or there wasn't a situation, would I say, that warranted
that to be discussed,
this to be discussed. Yes. That's it.
Talking about is quiet.
I think this just quiets the whole thing, yeah.
So, we can't go back now to talk about what could have been. We need to move forward and look at it. I feel that, yes, it's a law, and I'm always one of those people that say, what
does the law say? Yeah.
But in this particular situation, I think this law that was passed is completely unfair. Yes, the law does not have to be fair. So I'm not a baby. I'm not saying, I'm just saying that it's unfair to the person of Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. With the level of experience that he has, with the other things that he has garnered, even outside office now, the experience, exposures, the connections, and the networking, and especially with the fact that he is of that age that he can vote and be voted for. This is like a law that is taking away. It's taking away the man's right to contest for president, because on the real,
it wasn't his fault.
Sorry?
I said it wasn't his
It's
fault
not his fault.
that President Yar'Adua died.
He has only contested
once
and won. The second time, he lost. Which means that he can still contest again. You get it is 2 terms that we're talking about.
But doesn't that negate the fact that you can't spend more than 8 years? Because
that's what I'm saying. That why not adjust? See, there's always a way to expand this discussion. Why not adjust the constitution to accommodate a special situation like this? Not Jonathan, but in the future, it could be anybody.
It could be anybody.
That okay, if someone finishes someone's term, it will not reflect if he wins his own term. Do you get? Especially if it is under 2 years. Who says that's not possible? It is written with biro and paper. But this one it looks like it was specifically created.
Yeah, I have a feeling it was specific to his case, because it was only his
like that
case that has happened. Or take, for example, let's even situate it another thing.
I'm not saying.
Another person, which I don't know that people are not making, they're not thinking about.
Okay, go
Kogi
ahead.
State.
Kogi State, okay.
Yahaya Bello was not
Good.
his first tenure. He was not voted in.
Wasn't.
The governor, the elected governor, the governor elect at that point died a few days before,
Right.
and he was selected to be governor. Then it means that he shouldn't have contested a second time.
Second term, yes. That's you see, I was going to say something.
Is that what they're saying? Because or they'll say that he only contested
It's 4
once.
years. Apart from that, he only spent 4 years.
Another 4 years.
So if he spends
it's
another
8
4 years, it's 8 years. But if Jonathan spends another 4 years, it will be 9 years plus, which is more than 8 years. That's what I'm saying. Why can't you accommodate that? It's not going to happen all the time.
I think they're trying to change the rules of the game in the middle of the game. And you are quite right. I'm also thinking that it looks a little bit deliberate.
Like, yeah,
Somebody
I
is
think so
actually
too.
planning ahead. Somebody sat somewhere and saw the.
They
happened-
saw like there was a
I saw the
lacuna
boards,
somewhere, and
yeah, I
like,
saw the
okay,
boards on the chessboard.
it's
Try-
better this thing is.
I'm trying to block it. So
Senate
this
president
block
in
it.
2015.
Senate president in 2015, between 2015 and 2019, was
Who?
Bukola Saraki. It was the 8th Assembly. It was
And
Bukola
under-
Saraki.
Under him,
2019 was Ahmed Lawan that came in. That is still the Senate president.
under whose tenureship was this thing?
President
reviewed?
Buhari, it was President Buhari that signed this into law in
Was
2018.
reviewed in
Yes.
2018.
It was
So-
reviewed and it was reviewed in 2017,
2017.
signed in 2018.
2018.
So
Okay.
if Bukola Saraki was the president of the Senate, this law was passed during his term
Yeah.
as president. So we don't know who sponsored the bill, but it became a law.
Yeah.
It became an amendment, constitutional amendment,
Yeah, it was
signed
added. It was added to it.
signed
yes.
by the president.
the president himself, which the president also could have said no to,
Smart
Well,
Alex.
but we all know.
but
the
he
whole
he
process.
signed to it.
Smart Alex.
So, at the end of the day,
Uh,
a Nigerian is being prevented from contesting for a post that is eminently qualified for.
So will they say because he's not supposed to do more than 8 years? Is that the reason for this law?
Yeah.
Because in the history of Nigeria, I think it was only Yar'Adua's case that Jonathan was the very first time this was happening. Which also I agree to the fact that at times, if some peculiar things do not happen, there might not be, nobody might have
situations,
noticed
yeah, it
that, okay,
warrants for us
there
to
is a,
create something.
this thing needs to be spelt out.
Yeah.
So yes, it might be for the future, but it was maybe because of that situation that was what warranted that law. But I will still go back to the fact that it was not his fault that President Yar'Adua had died. Which, if President Yar'Adua did not die, he probably would never even be president, because at that point, President Yar'Adua might probably have gone for his second term as well, and then there would probably be a lot more back and forth.
Under Yar'Adua, was he a vice?
It was vice president.
He was
Yes.
vice.
Yes.
Not acting.
It
No,
was-
he was vice president. Then he became acting president when the president died.
not
Shortly.
Not immediately.
Not immediately.
Not
Yes.
immediately.
And also, if we go by that rule, we know that it was now a thing. There was also now an official constitution amendment to the fact that the president, after a number of days, the president has to hand over to. It was because of that situation that brought about that thing. And this happened also when it came to that law now came into play when I think it was the first term of President Buhari, when he was not around for a very long period of time, that he had to transfer powers to Vice President Yemi Osinbajo to become the acting president. But it wasn't because of President Buhari. It was because of what had happened with President Yar'Adua.
Yar'Adua, yeah.
But it made sense
But-
because at the point when President Buhari was indisposed, was not around, it made sense that we had needed an acting president, which
So
nobody saw that coming, but it was needed.
so
It meant when Yar'Adua was
so
absent,
no
yeah.
so no
Now-
nobody's talking about how this law is not only for the president, it also affects the
The
governors.
governors, yes.
Talk about it.
There No, nobody's talking about it.
Generally, okay.
We
now.
just
Generally.
we just mentioned it. So I want to talk about it.
Okay.
There was a certain governor in the north that spent almost his entire tenure outside the country.
Yeah.
No deputy governor, nothing happening. The man was just there. He was just there, outside. He was rumored to be ill. So, again, in looking at things, we have looked at it from the presidential angle, Abuja connection. There are also states that would suffer because things were just left the way they were. And because it was a northern state that didn't really have that
I think
much
the eyes,
media attention,
yes, there
no
wasn't a
eyes
lot
on
of
them. That thing
media
that thing
attention. It just
happened.
went on.
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened. You
Nothing.
can imagine if that happened in a southwest state, or let's say Lagos, or Kano,
Or Kaduna.
or Kaduna,
How many times have you heard about how
or Rivers State.
the current governor of Kaduna, on a regular, hands over power?
Oh yes,
To
he does it a lot
the
to his
deputy.
deputy.
It does. It does.
That's the way governance should be. It's about governance. Does anybody know the deputy governor of some states? There are some states I will mention now. If I mention them, you don't even know their deputy governors. Not because you don't want to know, but because
They're not
they
prominent.
actually have overbearing governors.
I have a question.
And if anything happens, nobody knows.
I have one question. Who's the deputy governor of Rivers State?
That's why I say I won't mention states. There are states that I won't
It's
mention.
not a quiz thing now.
I know.
I'm going to check. Like,
I'm not going to mention
don't
states.
mention
I have
states.
honestly never heard of
Let's move
deputy governor. No,
But
oh,
do
we are
you
moving
think this
on.
thing, this case can be presented in court? This issue can be presented in court. My only fear is it going to have a sweet ending?
For me, I think that it's not just the
It's
court.
sweet.
It is the National Assembly. We know that even
Are you sure they're going to do anything about it?
they're the ones doing. They're the ones that brought up this law.
these
So
laws,
yes, so
But-
yes, I think that like I said before we came on the show, the issue that has been going on now about somebody defecting from one party to another is something that we have known in memorial that politicians do. I think it is time for the National Assembly to actually put it down, state it.
Yeah.
Because yes, there are laws, there are laws that different courts cite about how some courts will tell you that the votes are for the person, another will tell you that the votes are for the party, another will tell you that the vote is for the seat. All those very conflicting things. Are those things in the law? Yes, but everybody's interpreting it the way they should be. Like the law that we read out now, it is explicit. There is no explanation you want to give to it. It is written in black and white, signed by the president. Those are the things that, those kind of gray areas that we see that they should, these are the kind of laws we need.
They're really
Spell
gray.
it out.
Very gray.
They're very gray.
Very, very gray.
We need to spell it
Yeah,
out
very gray.
so that we don't even waste time.
Yes, very.
We don't even waste time on it.
Because ahead of time it's going to be a stumbling block to the process.
Yeah.
It would affect the process at the end of the day. Everybody's going to be hands on deck. INEC as well. They should be hands on deck because very soon we will be seeking interpretation from. I think the courts will do a lot of. And you know when it gets to the court situations, all this.
And I think that judiciary is
adjournments
not
of
judiciary is not
and
doing
all
is
that.
not helping. Unfortunately, judiciary should help us. Judiciary is confusing the system more than.
But if you don't go to them, interpretation is weak.
That's what I'm saying. So
We must
the
go to
National
them to
Assembly
get
should just put it
interpretation.
out, because this crop of judiciary, they're not because we've even seen even the Chief Justice of Nigeria sanctioning a few judges about having very conflicting those things. So
This
and
won't happen.
you really can't blame them too much, because at the end of the day, it's subject to each person's interpretation. But even when you go to it, let's assume former President Goodluck Jonathan goes to court now. There is a law. So there is nothing else that the court wants to. It will just literally point it out to you that, uncle, this is what the law states, so you don't have a case.
Which is probably going to be the most
That's it.
Possible.
So you won't even stretch it. You won't even waste so much time. You won't waste taxpayers' money on stretching things. So to still talking about the courts, there's also issues with this court and Nigerian constitution. Now, as a Yoruba group called the Yoruba Nation has intensified its efforts to halting the June 18, 2022 governorship elections in Ekiti and the 2023 general elections. They're challenging the legal validity of the 1999 constitution for the conduct of both the Ekiti gubernatorial elections and the 2023 general elections. I have a question. July, there is Osun State elections. So Osun State elections is not in Nigeria, right? Anyway, I'm just saying. In the suit filed at Ado-Ekiti Federal High Court, the group is seeking, amongst other things, total decommissioning of the 1999 constitution by all lawful means necessary. The defendant is the INEC, the Attorney General of the Federation. Okay, so
Any explanations further down?
basically what they're saying is that according to a statement signed by the Communications Secretary of the Ilana Omo Odua, who are the plaintiffs, Ilana Omo Odua, who are the plaintiffs in this case,
Okay.
are demanding that whether by virtue of the preamble to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended, which says the people of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, having firmly and solemnly resolved to live in unity and harmony as one indivisible, indissoluble sovereign nation under God, dedicated to the promotion of inter-African solidarity, world peace, international cooperation, and understanding, and to provide for a constitution, this and this and this. Now they're saying that give the constitution without having a referendum, which absolutely is an essential part of the process of making a constitution, that the 1999 constitution is illegal, invalid, and no effect whatsoever, for failing to meet the essential requirement to be qualified as a valid constitution. They're saying that the constitution was actually written by the military government, which says we the people of Nigeria, and is a lie when the actual fact it was the military government that came up with the document and imposed it on the Nigerian people without any contribution from the Nigerian, therefore rendering the constitution illegal, invalid, null, and void.
The same constitution we have been using. Right?
Yes.
So it's we the people that the article of that redefines
Yes.
the terms. We the people. We the people. We the people. Okay, we the people.
I have a what's
The structures we've built around this particular constitution is so big and so I don't understand it. Now, if we begin to think about crumbling them or going right inside the constitution, so many structures will have to be redefined.
All structures.
Completely
More like all structures.
Everything.
I have a different issue with what they came up with. Where was it the military that wrote this constitution? Oh yeah. Does the constitution say we the people? Yeah. Does it mean that it's the military that imposed it or not? I do not agree. Where I do not agree is, as at 1999, there was a conversation and there was an election that brought in the democratic government. The democratic government agreed to this constitution. And since 1999 is what every single president coming after them had agreed to. Every single government had agreed to. So the minute you agree to it, it means that it's we the people. You agree that it's we the people. That's the way I say it. The minute you agree to it, you agree that this is your constitution. If you didn't agree to it, then there's a conversation. But it was not imposed. We've not had military government since 1999. So who imposed it on us anymore?
I think the imposition they're talking about is probably, usually or generally a referendum is expected when it comes to constitutions and all that, where issues will be debated. But that didn't happen in those days. So when you're looking at imposition, so many things were imposed during the military regime, the particular regime. Party manifestos were written for various parties by the military. We have the NRC, we have the SDP, you know, and they wrote. It was the military that did all that.
But we don't have those parties anymore, do we?
No. What I'm trying, it is the act they are referring to of imposing.
That's what I'm saying. The people, like you said, the SDP and the NRC.
No, even if you don't have it, the act itself was seen to be like as an imposition. They imposed it on the electorate, on the people. Now back to this time. What I'm saying now is that this is 22.
22.
You know, and there are some. You see, I'm sorry, I have to refer to this. Prior to this program, we had been discussing about politics and politicians and politics all over. But let's leave that out of it. We in this country, we have assigned ourselves to accepting the norm of confusion in situations. I do not know how they would expect that this particular issue now will be discussed in a varying situation where we are already a quarter to the time to roll a next election. Whether we like it or not, if it's done, let us hit it and let people begin to argue it in court. And I doubt if it's going to say.
I don't see this selling. Why?
I don't see.
And like I said, since you had talked about I was going to go back to where you were talking about parties that party constitutions that were written under the military. After a while, people felt this thing is not working for us, and there was a dissolution. Yeah, because they felt it wasn't working. But up until now, nobody has said 1999 constitution is not working. There has been amendments, yes. But the minute you do not say that this thing is not working, it means you accept it. Whether it's a lazy, mad way of looking at it, or maybe you just don't want stress, or you feel that it works for the situation on ground, yes. But even if we look at it that way, even as at 1999, compared to now, it's not the same constitution we have. There's been a lot of amendments. Do we even need more? Oh, yes. But there's been a lot of amendments to it already.
And we keep
amending. So where is the conversation of 90? It's not 99 constitution we have today. If we really look at it.
No, we're out of time, so
really?
I can't even start. There's a lot I want to say, but
okay. So on that note, that is all we have
day.
to take on the Boom Bar today. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We'll definitely will be back again on Monday